Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, August 21st, 2025. Before I jump into the charts like this one, I just want to mention that this week WickedStocks.com has put out two stock picks as we do every week. Sunrun Incorporated, a solar energy manufacturer, if you will, and Lyft Incorporated, the Uber competitor, so the ride service. Both of those on the edge of significant buy signals that we anticipate, if elicited, could provide 20 to 30% moves on those underlying stocks in the weeks and months ahead. You want to check them out? You can for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, in which you'll also receive daily Triple Q and daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock analysis, weekly NASDAQ 100, and weekly S&P 500, all in one package. So check it out at wickedstocks.com. On with Tesla, 5.5-year weekly chart. Just to mention here, once again, if you've been following the series, you know full well we've got the low to upper 350s as our meaningful longer-term price ceiling that, unless we can close above 358.58, does allow this market to fall back. Now, we don't have a sell signal per se longer term, but we are still in the midst of one over the 2 to 3 week time horizon. And that came into play when we tested over a week ago for several days straight that 348.96, a rising channel top that is now like a 5 or 6 week structure. We came off of that, and after having tested it, which we now couple with the low to upper 350s, as I just showed, this is just like one big range of resistance now. Having tested it, we do anticipate channel support as a 2 to 3 week target. And we're about a week and a half into that. And that channel bottom is at 306.86, which is preceded by 307.44. That's a pretty tight range. 307.44 is just a simple trend line off the lows on the weekly chart. In this area, 307.44 down to 306.86 is an area that if you've, number one, been short for the last week and a half following the upper 340s testing of resistance, you want to cover that short position. You may also consider going long here. And I'm talking to 2 to 3 week swing traders, because from here we can round back up into the upper 340s to upper 350s. Once again, that channel top to 306.86 channel support is rising on a daily basis and will be pushing into the lower 350s over the next full week anyway. And that kind of captures our 2 to 3 week time frame. A longer term, as I say, we could continue falling away from this upper 350s, low to upper 350s, but that would become clarified if we were over the coming days to close below 306.86. And then, if you went long there, and you might, because I just mentioned how we could round up into the 350s again within 2 to 3 weeks of testing 306.86. But if we close below it, 3 to 5 day and 2 to 3 week swing traders should reverse and go short, anticipating then 276.88 as this is really kind of a 1 to 2 week objective. And it is really the beginning of a wide zone down to 254.12 that can absorb selling into later year.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
We don't really know whether we'll close below 276.88, but I do consider it confidently a 1 to 3 week target depending on volatility following a settlement below 306.86. If we do then close below 276.88, then yes, we're expecting 254.12. There is a case to be made very simply on the weekly chart that if we close below this trend line at 307.44, it's the same idea, the same dynamic that we could over the following month or two test 254.48. But there is the inside channel that is best shown on the daily chart at 276.88. And so I would rather just call that kind of a 22-point range of long-term support, well suited for anywhere from 3 to 5 week out to 2 to 3 month swing traders who could bottom pick the mid 250s to mid 270s, anticipating then upward rotation within several months back into the low to upper 350s. Let's get to the day itself. I've already outlined the 306.86 level as a 2 to 3 week target that we're coming very close to reaching following the testing of the 348.96 channel top. So that is our 2 to 3 week target. If we were to break it down, though, we do have, for instance, today. Now, this is a channel bottom that we broke below pretty decisively on Wednesday. I had it as a session containment level in the low 320s. It's now at 318.59. It is still a tradable structure. And in fact, above 318.59, we can test, possibly today, 332.65. That is a newly formed descending channel top on the daily chart that can contain today's highs. And yes, below which we can fall by the end of next week to our 306.86 2 to 3 week target. So 332.65 is also our upward pivot point through the rest of the week. I like 332.65 not just because of the descending channel top structure, but it's also just above yesterday's high. Yesterday was the move low so far over the last couple of weeks. And if we close above 332.65, we also have a buy signal by closing merely above yesterday's high. And I think that lends itself toward this could be a 1 to 3 day rally with more constrained volatility, a 3 to 5 day rally, but closing above 332.65, I would expect by the end of next week or sooner, a retest of the 348.96 channel top. Until then, the emphasis remains anticipating by the end of next week that 306.86 channel bottom, which I show again here. And working our way down, we do once again have the channel bottom at 318.59. If we close today below 318.59, I think tomorrow we then test our 2 to 3 week target, which has been in play now for the last week and a half at 306.86. Where if you've been short for the last 3 to 5 days, for the last week and a half, you can take profits at 306.86. You should take profits at 306.86 if that is your time horizon. Everybody's got a different time horizon. I know some of you day trade throughout the day Tesla, looking for opportunities on a 5-minute chart, 30-minute chart, moving averages, oscillators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And some of you are more 3 to 5 days, 2 to 3 day swing traders. Others of you are holding positions for several weeks, 3 to 5 weeks on end. So I'm kind of breaking it down for each one because they are all sort of individualized time horizons that are entirely valid. The danger is spilling from one time horizon to another. If you're typically a 3 to 5 day swing trader and you bottom pick 306.86, that is the time horizon for upward rotation. But I mentioned how that a 2 to 3 week buy opportunity would present at 306.86, anticipating the low to upper 350s. And so if you're pushing into a near-term resistance area following a test of 306.86, you want to continue honoring your time horizon because that is where your focus is. That is where your rhythm has been developed. Your trade execution style, all of that correlates well with the 3 to 5 day time frame. But there's nothing to say that you can't then adopt a 2 to 3 week time horizon. I'm not suggesting it. People do move from one time horizon to another over time in terms of their trading style and their trading habits. I digress. I think that I pretty much said it all for Thursday's Daily Tesla Report. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow with Fridays, and you have a great day.